Welcome back to our corner on the internet. Okay, so time actors vid by Queen Choma. How funny is that? The king reacting to the queen. Okay, anyway, the video is called Zeus Keeps Casting Nutty People. Yeah, I remember I got a comment some time back. I never got to watch it. Was it Jocelyn's Cabaret moments or something like that? I never got to react to it. I might do that at some point down the line, depending on if it gets copyright or blocked and shit like that. But yeah, I heard about Zeus Network always casting crazy people, right? You got Krishan, and I saw that shit on Neighborhood Talk and Shade Room about Tommy, which I don't even know whether this is just PR and shit like that. So that I don't know. Don't give two shits. But yeah, then I heard about Orlando Brown or whatever. I'm like, what's he got to do with this? But yeah. Point is, Zeus Network is casting nutty people. But yeah, let's dive into this video. So without further ado, let's get into this reaction.
So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Trauma Chance video podcast edition. So by the title, we're
the photo she used over Orlando, I can't.
A whole bunch of crazy and nutty people. By the way, could you guys make sure that you have your post notifications turned on for my channel? I feel like YouTube hasn't been pushing them out, so just make sure that they're on so you can always be notified when I post. So Zeus Network has become the new hub for reality TV shows. I feel like once upon a time, MTV and VH1 were literally top of the class for the go-to networks, giving us the most ratchet, meme-worthy, and classic reality television. But Zeus Network has definitely taken over by being one of the fastest-growing streaming services, hosting this cesspool of toxic content, ghetto and ratchet personalities, and all in all, casting crazy people. I would like to shout out to the channel The Unpopular Party. I love his content, and he has a great breakdown on the history of Zeus Network. I will link it and pin it down below.
I might check that after this.
It's a very good overview of how Zeus has catapulted into the conversation discussing top reality TV. So definitely go check that out. Now, it was recently announced that former child actor Orlando Brown will be joining the cast of Zeus's show called Bad Boys. So I've never watched Bad Boys. You guys have to.
These are ain't shit. They really used this photo of this Donnie. What's the nigga high in this photo? Oh man.
If it's worth watching. I did watch the Bobby I Love You show, but I think I only watched like 4 episodes and never finished it, but it was very entertaining. I'm definitely still in the process of watching Baddies West, and I've watched all 3 seasons of Jocelyn Cabaret.
Now, neighbors, I don't know if Zeus Network is trying to give y'all drama or Trump. Apparently, Orlando Brown is supposed to be joining
this guy really had a fall from grace, isn't he? Orlando Brown.
Bad Boys season 1, but that was like I Am Jonathan, Milan Christopher, etc. Very influencer-y. But what do y'all think about Orlando Brown coming to Zeus, to a Bad Boys house? Like,
it is being reported that Orlando Brown is going to be joining the Bad Boys Club cast on Zeus Network. And I just want to say that if they casted him, they are definitely going to be exploiting this man because he has a lot going on, and he's been having a lot going on for years now. He was literally arrested 2 months ago for a domestic violence incident. Apparently, Zeus bailed him out last Friday as part of some type of deal. I guess we're just going to have to see if he is going to be on this show or not. Because right now, Hollywood Unlocked is just saying that a close source has told him this.
The same way that white people, especially white women, go hard for Britney Spears, black people, black men, we need to have the same energy for Orlando Brown. He's basically been exploited his whole life. He exposed some real stuff about, you know what, next thing you know, he's getting arrested. And then next thing you know, he's posting these videos from this Truman Show looking neighborhood saying that, you know, he was kidnapped, that they're watching him. We ain't heard from this man in at least maybe 2 months, and then out the blue, this is what we hear about him, that he's gonna be on Zeus. And we all know Zeus pays their employees in drugs, so that's the last place he need to be at. And is this even really him? Because I feel like the first thing he wouldn't do is hop on Zeus.
Now, I'll be honest enough to say that all of these people who are a part of these shows are doing exactly what their job description entails. Do crazy, ratchet, and memorable things for the sake of drama and accumulating ratings for each of these TV shows. And I'm not going to say that I think that that's okay, because I don't. However, the cast members are essentially fulfilling their jobs either by who they truly are or under the motivation of the check that they're receiving. Zeus Network, on the other hand, is an actual business, meaning there's a CEO, there's a president, and there's probably hella other employees guys that work under the company. So it's a huge network where I'm sure has a decent amount of people who produce, direct, cast, hire, do outreach, promote, do graphic design, and just about every other necessity it takes to upkeep the business. And because this is a multi-person factory, it's Zeus who actually creates the battleground to exploit all of these people. Orlando Brown has been in the media for outlandish behavior for the last decade, it seems. And unfortunately, where it looks like he was getting a little bit better or getting his stuff together has actually been a disappointment because he's still constantly getting arrested or trending for saying and doing nutty behavior. But what I realized that it's the degenerate and worldly behavior that Zeus sees as a cash cow. And they've been doing a good job at it and not caring about the backlash, the repercussions, or the people like me who will call them out for making an industry out of this. Granted, they're not the first and they're definitely not going to be the last, but they're definitely
not
relevant right about now. I think reality TV show personalities have always had a little bit of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs within them. I mean, that's what makes them worth watching on TV. But I think Zeus goes past the line with casting people that have way more sinister issues with them. Personally, I feel like MTV and VH1 and other television networks would never allow the same behavior that is on Zeus's shows. Like, Krishan Rock would have been fired a long time ago, and just about everybody on the cast of Jocelyn's Cabaret would have been fired a long time ago too. But because Zeus is not on TV and is basically a paid subscription streaming network, they can get away with putting more toxicity out and allowing toxic people to remain employed by them. Crazy, isn't it? So I wanted to share my views on Zeus constantly casting these nuts, bolts, and loose screws, and what type of effect it actually has. So I broke this video down into one overall main talking point. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So my one and overall main talking point is toxicity TV is a gold mine. It's no surprise that reality TV doesn't have the best reputation. I mean, you are putting a whole bunch of strangers, in most cases, in a controlled environment for weeks or months at a time, restricting them from daily life activities, and giving them an ultimate goal to complete while under the guise of reality TV. And with traditional reality TV, there's usually more of a thesis or an end goal for all of the shows, whether it be prize money or winning over somebody's love, or simply showcasing an exuberant lifestyle to an audience. However, with Zeus Network, I really don't believe that that's their motive. I think their motive is simply putting out toxic TV and to be heralded as the most controversial TV network on streaming. And I'm not gonna lie, they've definitely met that goal.
Yeah, they've achieved it.
They have casted to their shows.
More than achieved it.
I see this pattern of bringing in people with either a crazy track record or a boatload of controversy tied to them. And I'll give them a few points because I think for some people, it is interesting to see them rehash their careers. Jocelyn Hernandez was a reality TV staple for the longest, and after being fired from Love and Hip Hop, she kind of fell into oblivion for a little bit. But Zeus Network kind of allowed her to resurge her relevance, and I'm not gonna lie, she did. People also forget that Black China was really the beginning of Zeus Network.
Oh, I haven't forgotten about that.
Put them on the map, as we hadn't seen Black China as much until she did that show. But when you look at Black China's record within pop culture, a lot of the things that she has done can be considered nutty. From the way how she went about having a baby with Rob Kardashian, to when she was swinging that stroller at an amusement park at somebody, to her promoting a skin bleaching cream, the list goes on. And I actually don't even dislike Black China. I feel like she's really an OG in everything dealing with urban pop culture and social media. But let's be real, she's definitely been on some severe nut shit so many times. But Zeus saw that, and once they implemented that viewpoint and process into their business system, they saw the success and ran with it. I mean, Usain Bolt, Olympic gold medal, record breaking, ran with it. So now you have somebody like Krishan Rock, who has been so controversial, and she's literally the mascot for Zeus Network. I could say Natalie Nunn as well, but I think Krishan is more of the mascot, and Natalie Nunn is like the cheerleading coach.
That is true, actually, yeah.
Krishan and play on her insecurities, her dismantled mental health, her yearning for attention, her toxic and abusive relationship, and everything in between, and they capitalize off of the toxicity of it all. Like I said earlier, I am watching Baddies West as it's airing at the moment, and I couldn't help but notice something that was brought up on the second episode. One of the cast members named Stunner Girl, who is an artist out of Cali, has a very, very disturbing past. Apparently, she and another female rap artist held somebody captive in a cage for days and left her in a completely unlivable condition.
No.
Her food, and also had men antagonize this person. So I did see a good video on YouTube from another creator named Golden Baby. I will also link that down below. I think she did a really good job explaining the situation and has great content on her channel surrounding reality TV as well. So if these allegations are true, I think that it's beyond wild that Zeus overlooked Stunner Girl's background and casted her for the show. I am still really unfamiliar with the story story of all of the violence and the female rap beef that was taking place in that situation. But after watching Golden Baby's video, I can tell that all of the women involved definitely had some very turbulent tendencies within their own personalities. Even if it was years ago, if somebody has not been able to change or just do a little bit better than they used to, how does that not scare or alarm Zeus Network, even in the littlest bit? Especially for the safety of everyone else. Hey, side note, shout out to the Zeus Network security guards. They definitely be earning their keep. I know it's sometimes common for people to want to give grace to people who have committed crimes or just have a bad history within their behavior or attitude, but I'm sorry, the circumstances surrounding the allegations are way too wild. Stunna Girl is a red flag, and I'm just gonna say it, it's probably because of her light skin and pretty privilege that she's been able to kind of get a pass for her involvement in that entire situation. I especially didn't like how Natalie Nunn was almost downplaying it, doing one of those awkward laughs about it and brushing over how serious the situation actually was. It is so crazy because I don't necessarily dislike Stunna Girl's character at the moment. Mind you, I haven't watched this week's newest episode, but I can't excuse the role that she played in her past because if she's on a show like Baddies, then there's really no measurement of change. But of course, the network loves that. They eat it up. They literally French kiss the idea of cashing
I saw this clip
and their embedded corruption.
the other day.
And all of these people are grown, so I don't make excuses for them. But I do think that when you're
You
under
can't
contract with a big business like Zeus Network, you eventually realize that a lot of these people act the way that they do solely because it has become their job. And it's actually really sad when you think about it because it probably went from an opportunity for exposure and then negatively transitioned into the infiltration and exploitation of somebody's life. All of these people could walk away, but Zeus Network is their lifeline at the moment. Zeus Network gives them the biggest boost into what a lot of these people are looking for, which is attention, money, and being able to promote the agenda that violence, controversy, and toxicity is the answer. So I guess I'm stuck between finding the happy medium because on one hand, of course, all of these people are entertaining and make great reality television on the basis of being controversial and toxic. But on the other hand, Zeus is an enabler that is restricting all of these people from any type of rehabilitation to being better people. And it's not necessarily Zeus's job. I mean, it isn't their job at all. But I think that because they know they are dealing with the nuttiest of all nuts, I mean, the peanuts, the cashew nuts, and the almond nuts of them
all the nuts. All nuts.
Being repeated again and again. Most of these individuals are already a few eggs short of a dozen in some way, shape, or form. And you can tell because their behavior is not exemplary of what a normal person would do. Even for the normal people that are down with throwing hands, a lot of them wouldn't react in the way that some of the cast members do. Maybe it's because there's always the...
Now, I saw a bunch of clips of Krishan. Let me quickly pause.
security guards to stop.
I saw the only clips I've seen of Krishan fighting somebody. She's sneaking them. I'm like, what you do? You just come behind and just go, boom. The fuck? Oh, no. Sneaking. Did you not see that one with Tommy and Natalie on Neighborhood talking shit? These are all just doing it for hype. Like, seriously. That's all I'm thinking, but whatever. It got me entertained. I'm watching it like, what the hell am I seeing? So yeah, they served their purpose. They had a goal and they achieved it. Well done. You got us talking.
Or maybe it's because they are motivated by the money. But one thing's for sure is that Zeus's intention is to capitalize off of the nonsense. There's nothing I can really say to stop Zeus from repeating this business practice, but I do predict that eventually people will get tired. I feel
people got tired of loving hip hop, didn't they?
People are tired of how Krishan acts. They're tired of her sneaking people in her place. They're tired of her being babied, and they're tired of her being the antagonist. But everyone on the cast and on Zeus Network seems too scared to hold her accountable and get into it with her at all. In one of the recent episodes of Baddies West, I feel like everybody was just trying to walk on eggshells around Krishan Rock, as well as just kind of let her do what she wants to do. I don't know why they treat her like that. She is not God. All in all, it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, I do enjoy some of the ratchet content because it is a guilty pleasure to sit back and say, hey, at least it's not me. But I guess the empath in me does worry and wonder about the aftermath that Zeus is enabling within all of these people. Bringing in a character like Orlando Brown is just not a good idea. He's literally deteriorated in front of the world, and I think it's actually too far for Zeus to use him for ratings. And one of the most interesting parts is when he's on, he's actually on. Like if you've seen an Orlando Brown interview when he's in his right mind, he has a lot of things that make you think and make you realize that the industry is a very wild place. However, I just think he's too hot and cold, and Zeus is going to pry on the downside to him versus showcase the good side or even try to get him any type of help. Again, it's not their responsibility, but it still is kind of sickening reasoning to watch this method of casting the most antagonistic people for the sake of entertainment. There's always going to be a little bit of ratchet in every reality TV personality, but I think Zeus uses the ones who have accelerated levels. Of course, people are going to tune in, but Zeus Network has to be aware that eventually people will tune out. I feel like they're creating monsters because compensating debauchery has them laughing to the bank, and if people don't get tired, something that's even worse than that is how a lot of these cast members will eventually become burnt out. Right now, for the most part, everyone is young and popular, but once they realize that they've stretched themselves thin in terms of personal development, mental stability, and frequenting hostile environments, it'll be a little bit too late. And unfortunately, Zeus will remain superior because they call the shots and they pull the strings. So that
Very
is it
much
for this
true.
video. I hope you all enjoy.
Very much true. Yeah, all the stuff that you see on Zeus, you you would not see on MTV and shit like that. If you do the intervene and kick the people off the show. But don't get me started on Krishan and Blueface. I just keep on seeing stuff out in the headlines. I'm just like, I don't even give a shit whether it's true or not. I'm just looking at it like, what is this shit? But yeah, eventually people are just gonna get sick of it. I'm pretty sure some people already have already, but I don't know. I don't care. I'm jumping in the comments right now and see what people are saying right now. I was just rewatching stories about Orlando's past / downfall, and it was and still is sad and difficult to watch because I grew up watching him. Adding him on Zeus just seems so low for him. The right team could have possibly saved his career, but it is what it is. Zeus is beyond toxic and degrading. He said disregarding. Degrading. Yeah, that network is so degrading and shit like that. I've seen clips from this, I'm like, is this all there is on this on that network? But whatever. But yeah, kidnapping is among the lowest and worst crimes. People who can do something like that can never be trusted. Yeah, do not trust a kidnapper. Like, I wouldn't trust a thief neither, a common thief. They look for people who are not mentally stable with anger issues. They need to call it nutty network. Yeah, actually, that's actually true. They don't like that comment. Yeah, they might as well call it nutty network because that's what it pretty much is. That being said, I know a couple of nutcases. Cast them on Zeus. Nah, I'm joking. Even the most crazy people I know, they're more level-headed than the ones that I've seen on Zeus by far. These pasted in drugs. Yeah, someone said it's all fun and games until someone gets seriously injured or even passes away from one of these fights. Obviously not taking that into consideration. All they're thinking about is the money, right? And unfortunately, trashy reality TV makes money. It really does make money. Whether it's for the shock value of it or whatever. Now, but didn't Blueface do like his own version of Bad Girls Club on OnlyFans or something like that? I don't remember what he called it, but fucking hell, man. See, people profit of ratchetness. They profit off this shit. It's mad, really mad. Imagine if reality TV and social media just shut down for a year. What would these people do? Yeah, what would they do? I'm not too sure I really want to know what they'd do. Yeah, going from Disney to Zeus is crazy. This will definitely not end up good. Yeah, definitely not. Someone said, Krishan and Blueface is coming to my city to host in a club next week. And I'm like, why? I can't with those two, right? I just can't. But speaking of Krishan, right? I said it in another video, I swear. I don't remember which video I said it in. But I said I saw a photo or a video of what she looked like before she linked up Blueface, and she looked hot as hell. Obviously, this was before she got tattoos in honor of Blueface. How many did she have? Like 7. It was before she had her teeth knocked out. now she's going around with no teeth and a bunch of tattoos. Obviously, if you and Blueface end up breaking up or whatever, but I don't know, I don't care. You gotta get the shit covered up or lasered off, because who really wants tattoos of their ex on them, a permanent reminder of their ex on them? Like, nah. It's always a tell sign. Like the relationships that do not last a lot of the time are the ones where they have matching tattoos or tattoos in honor of their other halves. They're the relationships that don't last, really. Luckily, I don't know anybody that's dumb enough to get a tattoo of their partner on them. To be fair, one of the people I know, I would not pass them to do that. If they had money, they would. They fall in love easily and simp over any bird that does so much to strokes their arm. I would not put it past them to do that. But yeah, Zeus Network is nutty as fuck. I can't think of the most craziest reality show, but whatever it is, all the ones on Zeus Network tops them by miles. miles upon miles upon miles. But yeah, interesting video. But yeah, it's kind of like if they got rid of this network and got rid of these shows, well, we get entertainment. But at the same time, it's like what they're doing is that these people is pretty foul, to be fair. But yeah, Nutty Network. They should rename it. Maybe I should make a petition, change this network to Nutty Network. I'm pretty sure someone's already done that. Someone's probably beat me to the punch. I don't know. Either way, I gotta go. But fucking hell, man, Zeus Network's crazy. I might react to one of these shows from the Zeus Network, but I don't know. But yeah, cool vid anyway. But yeah, I gotta go. Okay, so that's it for this video. Like, subscribe if you want. I post it whenever I feel like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.